Before satellites and digital data, before the world was mapped by machines and algorithms, history's greatest debates, discoveries, and even disputes were settled with nothing more than ink and parchment. An old map is more than a drawing, it's a declaration, a bold statement. This is our world as we know it, and as we dare to imagine it. These fragile documents are powerful evidence of real people venturing into the unknown, risking everything to chart the uncharted. Each line is a journey, a risk, a story passed down through generations, echoing the hopes and fears of those who first drew them. Ancient maps are time capsules, preserving not only what was known, but also what was still a mystery. They reveal trade routes, unexplored coastlines, and the boundaries of human knowledge at the time. In the margins, vast spaces are marked, "Here be dragons," a testament to the fears and legends that filled the gaps in understanding. Honest about their limits, these maps show how our picture of the world was built piece by piece, each new discovery adding to the puzzle. Unlike stories that change with each retelling, a map is a fixed record, a tangible link to the past, unaltered by time. When we look at an old map, we connect directly with explorers, kings, and scholars who once held it, sharing in their wonder and ambition. We trace the same lines, see the same world through their eyes, and imagine the challenges they faced. In that moment, history becomes real, alive and tangible, not just words in a book. These maps prove that history is rooted in actual human experience, in the dreams and determination of those who came before us. They are the silent witnesses to our shared journey of discovery, quietly reminding us of how far we've come, and how much there is still to explore. Maps weren't just tools, they were powerful statements of authority, belief, and identity. They shaped how people saw their world and their place within it, acting as both practical guides and symbols of ambition. What a map included, omitted, or placed at its center was always a deliberate political and cultural choice, reflecting the priorities and perspectives of its creators. Ancient maps brimmed with stories, depicting gold mines, sacred sites, legendary beasts, and bustling trade routes. These details weren't just decoration, they were windows into the hopes and fears of past societies. Each symbol and drawing reveals the economy, mythology, and worldview of its makers, offering clues about what mattered most to them, and how they understood the unknown. Mapmaking was a global collaboration. Knowledge flowed between sailors, scholars, and travelers from many cultures, crossing borders and oceans in a constant exchange of ideas. Greek geographers used Phoenician data. Arab cartographers drew from Indian and Chinese sources, weaving together a tapestry of shared wisdom that spanned continents. These maps prove that globalization and knowledge sharing are ancient traditions, not just modern phenomena, and that curiosity has always connected humanity. They challenge the myth of lone discoverers, showing that discovery was a shared human enterprise, built on cooperation, communication, and collective effort. Ancient maps reveal a complex, interconnected history, one built by many hands, each leaving their mark on the evolving story of our world. They force us to recognize the achievements of civilizations often overlooked, reminding us that every culture has contributed to our understanding of the Earth. In every line, ancient maps correct our modern biases and expand our view of the past, inviting us to see history as a living shared legacy that continues to shape us today. Claudius Ptolemy's Geographia, written in 150 AD, revolutionized mapmaking. He introduced latitude and longitude, a grid that turned maps into science. Though his original maps are lost, his instructions let anyone recreate his vision of the world. Ptolemy's map accurately depicted the Mediterranean and extended as far as India and China, but he underestimated Earth's size, making the Atlantic seem smaller, a mistake that later inspired Columbus. Ptolemy built on centuries of Greek and Roman knowledge, organizing vast data into a logical system. His work became the standard for over 1,000 years. Rediscovered during the Renaissance, it fueled a new age of exploration. Mapmakers updated Ptolemy's blueprint with new discoveries, redrawing the world. Even flawed, his map provided a framework that inspired generations to fill in the blanks. It's proof that even imperfect knowledge can change history. In 12th century Sicily, King Roger II commissioned Arab scholar Al-Idrisi to map the world. Al-Idrisi spent 15 years gathering knowledge from sailors, merchants, and books across cultures. The result, the Tabula Rogeriana, the most advanced map of its era. Sicily was a crossroads. Norman, Byzantine, and Islamic worlds met here, and the map reflects this blend. Al-Idrisi's map combined Greek precision with practical travel knowledge, accompanied by a detailed encyclopedia. Oriented with south at the top, it reminds us that north up is just one perspective. The map accurately depicted the Mediterranean, Indian Ocean, and African interiors, surpassing most European maps. It proves that scientific exchange thrived across religious and cultural divides. The Tabula Rogeriana is a monument to cross-cultural cooperation and shared curiosity. It stands as evidence that history is a tapestry woven by many civilizations. The Vinland map, revealed in 1965, claims to show a Viking-discovered land west of Greenland. Vinland, if real, it would be the first European map of the Americas predating Columbus. The map seemed to confirm Norse sagas and matched archaeological finds in Newfoundland. But its authenticity is hotly debated. Ink analysis suggests a possible 20th century forgery, though some disagree. The controversy forced historians to take Viking exploration seriously. The map's impact is undeniable. It challenged the Columbus narrative and spotlighted Norse presence in North America. Whether genuine or fake, it shows how a single map can reshape our understanding of history. The debate itself reveals our deep reliance on maps to validate the past. The Vinland map remains a symbol of hidden history and the power of evidence on parchment. It reminds us that history is often more complex than the stories we're told. Old maps captivate us with their intricate depictions of sea monsters, mythical lands, and winds with human faces, each element telling a story of its own. These weren't just decorations, they marked the edge of the known world and the start of imagination, a boundary where reality met fantasy. Monsters and terra incognita signaled danger, mystery, and the limits of knowledge, challenging explorers to venture beyond the familiar. Empty spaces were invitations to explore, challenges to future adventurers who dared to fill in the blanks with their discoveries. Mapmakers were more than scholars, they were artists, entrepreneurs, and sometimes spies, weaving tales of lands unseen. They risked fortunes for new information, and sometimes added deliberate errors to protect their work from rivals and enemies. Myths like El Dorado or Prester John fueled real expeditions and expanded the map's reach, turning legends into quests. Every map is infused with its creator's personality, priorities, and biases, reflecting the world as they perceived it. Jerusalem might be at the center, or Spice Islands exaggerated for merchants, each choice revealing economic and cultural influences. By studying these choices, we glimpse the world through their eyes, understanding their hopes and fears. The monsters and myths are clues, fingerprints of the mapmakers' humanity, capturing the essence of their time. Old maps are not just data, they are living stories, narratives that have survived the passage of time. They connect us directly to the dreams and fears of the past, bridging the gap between then and now. Ancient maps still shape our world. Archaeologists use them to find lost cities and forgotten roads. Comparing old maps with satellite images reveals hidden ruins and ancient landscapes. Maps of Roman roads have led to new discoveries in Britain. In modern politics, centuries-old maps are key evidence in border disputes and resource claims. A line drawn long ago can decide billion-dollar outcomes today. Old maps also reveal the spread of trade, migration, and ideas, visual records of globalization. They help us track environmental change, showing vanished lakes or shifting coastlines. For climate scientists, these maps are a baseline for understanding our planet's transformation. Old maps are not just history, they're tools for navigating the present and future. When you see an old map, look beyond the lines and labels. It's not a primitive GPS, it's a tapestry of human journeys. Every coastline, river, and city marks real footsteps and real lives. These maps are testaments to curiosity, adventure, and memory. They preserve questions, discoveries, and the hard-won knowledge of generations. Reading a map is learning a language of symbols, choices, and omissions. By reading between the lines, we uncover hidden stories and forgotten connections. Old maps remind us that history is real, made by people as curious and brave as we are. They are invitations to explore, to question, and to discover secrets still waiting in plain sight. The past is not lost. It's mapped, waiting for us to follow the lines.